Good morning, class 5. Hope class 5 you all are fine. So today we are continuing with our chapter 7, interdependence of living beings, plants and animals. Okay. Hope you all have written the question answer also. You are learning it. Okay, afterwards chapter wise I will take your test also. You learn and keep it all the chapters very properly. Now you see again in video again I am telling again I'm looking that view is very less. Okay, very less students are viewing nowadays. That means they will not be able to learn these chapters very properly. So everyone must view the videos to understand the chapters. So let's continue. Okay, so only 15 16s are viewing the videos, class 5. Okay, very low. Okay, so most of them, that means they are not watching the videos, they are not studying at all. Okay, so they will be the sufferer. Now you see, so today we are going to start with the living component of the environment. Now you see, I have said you there is interdependence between plant. So in the last class, so plant depend on animal, animal depend on plant for everything, for survival also. Today you see we all are also a part of a society, so we are also social animal. So we also have to depend on plant, we have to depend on animal for our survival, for our needs, for our everything that's we required to live. Okay, so our environment is made with many components. Okay, those are your living and non-living components. So we have living thing, we have non-living thing. Now you see this chalk, the chalk is non-living thing. Okay, after that you see this duster is also non-living thing. The books that we are using, non-living thing, this table, this blackboard, okay, all are non-living things. Plant, they are living things. Animal, they are living things. So the component of the environment is consist of living and non-living things. Okay, so your non-living things, others are your soil, air, water, sunlight. Okay, the heat of the sun, that's warmth, all are your non-living things. Okay, your living things are your microorganisms, small organism, one cell organism, animal, different types of animal, insect, birds, plant, trees, all are your living organisms. Okay, so you see microorganism means bacteria, fungi, okay, viruses, these all are your living organisms. Now, so you see, to live we all have to depend on each other for our survival. Now you see, when you are taking a curd, when you eat a curd, okay, so you see in curd also bacteria are there, but in curd the bacteria are good for our health. Okay, in curd also bacteria is present, that means micro or living organism is there. So when we eat, that bacteria goes in our body, but those bacteria are good for our health. Okay, so you see, so here we are going to see all the interdependence between all the component of our environment, how we have to depend on living thing has to depend on non-living thing, how they are interacting with one another. Okay, so let's start with the first with the plants. Okay, first we will be talking about the plant. So we'll be doing discussions about the plant. Okay, so let's discuss about the plant. Now you know plant are the producers. Okay, why? Because they can produce their own food with the help of sunlight, air, water, carbon dioxide. Okay, so you see they produce themselves. Plant does not go to market to buy the foods. Do they go? No. They prepare their own food with own food. Okay, because the leaves, on the leaves chlorophyll is present. Now see, in our body we don't have chlorophyll. We don't have capacity of producing our own food by standing on the sun, like standing outside. Okay, in the sunlight we cannot produce our food. So plants are called the producers. Okay, so they produce in the process of photosynthesis with the help of air, water, carbon dioxide. Okay, which they get from the water, they get from the soil, they absorb. Now you see, so they need sunlight, so they get heat from the sun. Okay, because without sunlight they cannot prepare the food, so they require chlorophyll, which is present on the leaves. Okay, so all living organisms depend on Okay, so all the living organisms, they depend on plant, okay, directly or indirectly for everything that we require. We also, every day we take food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, so everything we eat all comes from plants. We have to depend on these plants for our survival. Okay, and other needs also, medicine, clothes, house. Okay, you see, while construction of the house, woods are used to make doors, windows, okay, furnitures. So you see, so many things we have to depend on the plant for our survival. Okay, so plant usually fixed in the position. So you see, plant that does not move from one place to another, they are fixed. Okay, and they depend on the environment for the survival. What is the environment? Proper air, carbon dioxide should be there, sunlight should be there, they should get enough water. Okay, so these all are things needed for the plant to survive in the environment. Now plant depend upon the known living component also. So they are your warmth, water, okay, air. So plant also have to depend on known living component for survival. Okay, this plant, they get water from the soil, they get nutrition from the soil, they get heat from the sunlight, they get carbon dioxide from the air. Okay, so these are the known living component that plant have to depend. So you see, living thing depend on known living thing, known living thing have to depend on the living thing to exist in this environment. Okay, so when plant dies, now you see, this is a living thing, it will also die. Now when plant prepare food, we give out carbon dioxide that is used by the plant, and plant gives, while preparing food, they gives us oxygen that we use. Okay, so you see, so this is a living thing. So plant cannot live for a long time. Okay, it cannot live for thousand and thousand of years, not possible for one plant. Okay, so they also dies. So when plant dies, they convert back into the nutrients by the microorganism. See, when plant dies, you see, in your home also, so many trees are, the plants are, the leaves falls. When you keep all the leaves in one place, you see, after few days, through the microorganism, it get decay. So when it get decay, when it get mixed with the soil become fertile. So you see, when the plant dies, the plant will be, the dead plant will be eaten by the microorganism, and this plant, when it will get mixed with the soil will become automatically very fertile. Okay, so you see, when plant is alive, it is benefit to the environment. When plant dies also, it gives some benefit to the environment. Okay, so plant directly or indirectly, they are very important for this environment. Okay, so this nutrition gets mixed with the soil, and so when the plant dies, it will be consumed. Okay, it will be consumed by the microorganisms, small microorganism. So when it get decay, it will get mixed in the soil will become very fertile, and whatever you will grow in that soil, it will grow very properly. So plants, when they are alive also, they are important. When they dies also, they are very important. Okay, so this was about your plant. Now next we are going to learn about the animals. Okay, next topic that we are going to do with the animals. Now animals, okay, is not possible for animals. Now see, animal cannot prepare their food like plant. Okay, so animals also have to depend upon the other. Okay, some animal they depend upon plants, some animal they depend upon the other living organisms. Okay, so plant eating animals are there, flesh eating animals are there, but directly or indirectly, everyone have to depend on plant only. Because today you see, lion or tiger, if they are flesh eating animals, so they have to eat flesh. So suppose deer, okay, they will kill the deer, they will have it. So deer is also depending on the plant. So indirectly, so all the animal, they have to depend on plant directly or indirectly. So they animal in forest, they move from one place to another in search of food. So plant eating animal, they will eat plant grasses, and wild animal such as the flesh eating animal, they will hunt. Okay, they will eat other small animals. So they directly feed on plant or they directly feed on animals. Okay, now animal depend on known living environment. So you see animal also depend on the known living component. So animals also require to breathe, so they also need oxygen. So oxygen is your known living component. Okay, they require heat, they require water. Okay, they are your known living component. So you see, so they breathe in oxygens and they gives out carbon dioxide, they breathe in oxygen from the air. So you see animal also they have to depend on, okay, living thing, they also have to depend on non-living things. So everyone, so we cannot say they are living things, so they will depend only on living thing. No, they also have to depend on non-living things. Okay. Okay, the next is now we are going to talk about microorganism. Okay, you see these microorganisms, okay, they are very small living component. Okay, they are very small living component, they are very small living. Sometimes some of the microorganisms, okay, they are present in environment but we cannot see with our these naked eyes. Okay, we cannot see, they are so small. Okay, so you see they are present in the environment but they are so small that we cannot see with our this naked eyes. So most of them are, and it can be seen with the help of powerful microscope. Okay, and you see most of these microorganisms they depend upon the dead plant and animals. Okay, so you see microorganisms from where they get food. When the plant dies, when the animal dies, you see in the forest they get decay. How they get decay? So this microorganism they feed on the dead plant and dead animals, that is their food. Okay, so you see they feed on the dead organism and dead remains. So these release the nutrition into the soil and these nutrients are used by the plant for growth. So you see these microorganisms they depend on dead animal. So when they eat all that, okay, so you see this microorganism they provide nutrition to the soil, and after that in those soil the plant grows very well. Okay, so this is about your nutritions, that microorganisms they can provide nutritions only by, okay, so they depend on dead animal and dead plant. So after when they eat all that, okay, the soil becomes fertile. So you see children, you all can see in the page number 94, okay, in your books page number 94, you see there is one picture is given, tree is given, then tree depends. So you see there is the interdependence of environment is given. Okay, so you see plant eating animals are they eat plants. Okay, then flesh eating animal they eat flesh of the animals. Now you see, so animal they eat plant eating animal, then flesh eating animal they eat to the plant eating animal. Okay, so when after death the microorganism eat them and that nutrition goes into soil and it gives nutrition to the plant. Okay, so you see, so we all are, so you see plant is depending on animal, animal is also depending on microorganism is also depending upon your plant and animal. So we all are interdependent on one another, we cannot survive alone in this planet. Okay, so we have to, so living thing non-living thing they are interdependent. So whatever component are present, so we have to depend on everyone for our survival. So now we're going to see the role of your environment. So all component can put into the following. So many components are there. Okay, categorize of your living component. They are your producers, consumer, okay, scavengers, decomposer. Okay, so we are going to see the 4 types of your living component. They are categorized. So producer, consumer, scavengers, and decomposer. Now first we are starting with the producer. Okay, now you see, so who are called producer? Okay, so living organism that can produce their own food. So you see, plant is only the living organism that can produce their own food. Okay, plant can produce their own food, that is why they are called producer. So green plant, they prepare the food with the help of photosynthesis, with the help of air, water, carbon dioxide, sunlight. Okay, so they are called producers. So they don't depend upon the other animal or plant. So plant, they prepare their own food by themselves. The okay, green pigment, that is called chlorophyll, is present in the leaf. So that is why, okay, so plant, they use the growth and survival. So when they prepare the food, those food is utilized by the plant for the growth. They are not buying food from the market. They don't depend on any animal for the food. Okay, so they prepare their own food. That is why plants are called what? They are called producers. Okay, so producers are the main source of food, and they are okay, and they are main source of food and energy to all. So you see the plants, okay, they provide food and energy to all the living component in this environment. Okay, so that's why plant is very important, okay, in our environment. That's why today if one person cuts one tree, that means he should grow 2 to 5 trees. Okay, at least everyone should grow tree to save the environment and to so that survival can be possible. So that's why people have to grow more and more trees. Okay, so trees are called what? Producers. Okay children, so for today I'm keeping up to here. Okay, so children, you all will watch the video, you will see, okay, and learn it, do your work. Thank you for today.